So I'm back again here for another interview, once again with the Hex Featherweight champion, and he's coming live from the Garden of Eden as usual. Always got to shout out Mr. Mangos for his garden, beautiful garden. But yeah, how are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So you're coming off that win over Jarrett Wilbraham, which I think it was probably your most well-rounded performance. I'd say you were using the hands in the striking quite efficiently in that fight. I felt like, is that something you wanted to showcase?
Yeah, definitely. It's like you said, definitely my most well-rounded performance because I haven't been able to show that off in my last fight. So I still didn't do as much as I wanted to. I sort of went into like a wrestle mode once Jarrett took me down. Um, but yeah, it was more than usual, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you say, you used a lot of strike in that fight. You bloodied him up as well in, I think it was the end of the first, maybe the second round. You caught him with some pretty good shots. Would you say a lot of the evolution in your striking would be training with Rahiki, being such a good striker, or is it just or you've always had that level of striking, you just never got to showcase it?
No, I think a bit of both. I mean, obviously, like having sparring partners like Marwan that helps a lot. So there's that. But yeah, I've always been a great striker. When I spar in the gym every week, like 90 or 80% of my round is me on the feet. Like I'm not really taking people down and stuff. So yeah, I definitely always had that skill there. But I think I'm just getting more comfortable in the cage and more comfortable letting my hands go.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say one of your signature moves would have to be that spinning back kick, because you seem to land that in all the fights. Like it does seem to be like one of your go-to moves. Where did you learn that? Because I think you've used that in quite a few fights, I believe. I know you used it against Justin as well.
Yeah, I've thrown that a lot. Even in there's some amateur fights where I've thrown it. Yeah, I don't know. I learned like a lot of traditional sort of kicks when I was young and first started. That was one of my favorite ones, and I just sort of brought it over into MMA with my fights, and then yeah, it's been working. So yeah, I try to set it up, and sometimes it lands, and it does well.
Yeah, definitely. So, what did you come away from with that performance? Against Jarrett, because obviously Jarrett's a tough guy. His only two losses are to UFC fighters, and Khan Offley and Cody Haddon. So obviously, for you to go in there and have a pretty dominant performance, I'd say it must feel pretty good to have yourself up there with those other guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I was talking about that with my coach. Like, yeah, he's only had two losses, like you said, to UFC guys. Me, I'm going to be the third. And I was happy because I feel like my win was even easier was an easier fight than those other two than Cody and Khan's fights with him. They're a bit more back and forth and stuff. I feel like I fought pretty smoothly. It wasn't my hardest fight, so I was very happy with that. Um, yeah, I mean, like he's another high level guy that I've taken out, so I'm 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 happy with that also. And yeah, I mean, we'll just see what's next. I guess we'll try and get an opponent for November, and then we'll go from there.
And I did see you commented on, I think it was like a post about, was it Seb and Taser Malone? You called them bums, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I mean, you got to try to stir the pot a little bit. I mean, like, because he called for a title shot, but yeah, I mean, in my opinion, any title shot without me in it is just a title for second place. So I'm the number one guy. So if whatever belt, whatever belt is fought for without me in it, like I said, it's not for the number one spot.
Yeah, definitely. I love to see that as well. I feel like it's good. That's something the scene needs a bit more. Is it's not like it's not crazy trash talk. Like you're not going personal or anything like that. But it's good trash talk. I feel like to get people more eager for the matchup as well.
Yeah, just a cheeky stab here and there.
Yeah, definitely. So I'd take it that means you're open to going back to Eternal potentially, or are you just looking Hex moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever fights make sense. To be honest, I haven't heard anything from Eternal since I left that tournament, so I'm assuming probably not. But yeah, I guess if there was a better fight there, then I would look at those options. But at the moment, Hex have been good to me. They've offered me two top fights, the last two guys, and it's projected me into a pretty good spot where I'm at now. So I'm more than happy to defend my belt if they continue giving me good matchups.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any inclination of who you could be facing next? Have they thrown any names at you, or have they confirmed that you will be on the next card?
Yeah, they definitely want me on that next card. Yeah, well, there's not that many top guys. I don't want to really take steps backwards and fight not as good opponents. But I mean, yeah, obviously, I'm not fighting Seb on Hex. He's signed to Eternal, so yeah, we're looking maybe at guys like Diego or even potentially international opponents. Yeah, whoever we can get, that's decent. So yeah, I just want to keep being busy, and I wanted to have 3 fights this year, so I was out for the first 6 months. So yeah, I want to get this one in November definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel a bit salty that Jono Mikhailov has been signed straight to Dana White Contender Series when you fought on the same card?
No, I'm not salty. I'm happy for him. I mean, I think it was last minute. There must have been like a pullout or something at welterweight because I'm pretty sure they matched them up pretty early on in the year, like around February, Marchish. So yeah, for that to happen for only 5 weeks, I think it is away. I'm pretty sure there was a welterweight pullout, so not like I could feel in that spot anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess it is good because it means they've got their eyes on you as well. If they would have watched his last fight as well.
Yeah, no, they definitely have watched my last fight and my fight before, seeing as yeah, well, the like you said, Jono just got signed, and then the fight before Navajo got signed, and he was the main event when I fought, and also my last 2 opponents. Pretty sure if Justin beat me, he would have got a shot, and then Jarrett was someone who was almost selected for the Ultimate Fighter, so I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they would have seen those fights, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I've noticed your stories a little bit after the fight with Jarrett. You did, I think it was like you put like a filter on him with like his eyes bulging out or something like that. Is that just playful trash talk, or was there like a little bit of beef there?
Nah, no, mate. I mean, because the photo before that, when I did a interview with Mitch, he put up on his story and put glasses on my head. So then after the fight, I did the same thing.
Yeah, nah, yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit of light-hearted banter, I reckon.
Yeah, no, there's no beef there. I mean, there's been nothing. Freestyle guys done nothing wrong to me. You know, we've
Yeah.
crossed paths and fought each other, but yeah, no, it's no beef on my end at least.
It almost does feel like you are the kryptonite though for like freestyle. You know, you've beaten two of them back to back. There is Seb. It's like, what are you gonna do next? You like you're gonna go and fight Volk in the UFC? It's like you're just going for all these guys, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe one day we'll have to cross paths as well. I mean, I'm not sure if Volk will still be around when I'm in the top 15, top 5. It's probably another 3, 4 years away. So, I mean, I'm hoping Volk's done by then. I wouldn't want to see him fighting at almost 40 years old, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That'd be sad, but yeah, who knows? Maybe he gets the belt back, and then maybe he somehow keeps the belt for another 3 years, and it's you two main event Sydney. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. So yeah, just looking at the landscape of like the UFC featherweight division, like there is Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway, and I just we did speak briefly about this. Are you picking Ilya Topuria to win that fight?
Yeah, I think he's going to, like, pick him apart. I think, like, people making out to be it's a close fight. But, yeah, I think Ilya's boxing is going to be too much for him. And then he's obviously a black belt jiu-jitsu as well. We saw as well with Volk versus Max, like that shorter sort of style, was especially in that the third fight. Like Volk really picked him apart on the feet. I feel like Ilya can do even better of a job. Obviously, we saw Ilya knocked out Volk, so he's got by MMA math. I mean, it doesn't always make sense, but
Yeah.
he's got better hands than Volk. So if Volk can do that to Max, I think Ilya can too.
Yeah, and I feel like another thing like about Ilya's game, he does have a really sneaky good calf kick as well, which we have seen that Max doesn't really check kicks. So I feel like he's going to land that kick a lot, and eventually he'll get him against the fence. And I just think he's going to batter Max a little bit. But Max has a chin, so Max will probably not get knocked out, and then who knows? He'll probably have a good fifth round. But I do think, yeah, he'll probably lose.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. Maybe Ilya will knock him out. Like I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, I definitely think he's going to get the job done, even if it's sub or decision.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then obviously there's been the rise of Diego Lopez. Have you been catching like his rise up in the UFC? Did you catch his last fight?
Yeah, I did. I thought, to be honest, I was picking Ortega for that last fight, but because he didn't look that good against Dan Ige. I thought maybe Ortega could, weather the storm and take him down and grind him out a bit and get like a decision win. But man, he looked good. Yeah, just cracked him straight off the bat, wobbled him. It's almost I've seen people saying it's like he knocked him out with the right hand and woke him up with the left. So yeah, that was good fight. Like I said, I didn't pick him to win. That I was thinking Ortega was gonna. Yeah, he's good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they give him a title shot next. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with the Vulcan stuff. They've been saying maybe he's gonna go to lightweight. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like nowadays in the division there is a lot of good like jiu-jitsu wrestling guys coming up because before with the featherweight division I feel like it's been a pretty striking heavy division, but now you got obviously the Evloevs, the Lopez's, even to an extent Ilya. I feel like it's pretty good that a lot more well-rounded type guys are coming up with the ground game, and it'd just be a perfect time for you to make your way up the division, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we'll see as well with all divisions, not just the featherweights. Like, yeah, the sport's getting more. It's been around for longer, and yeah, there's going to be more people like myself who have been just training MMA from a young age. So I think there's not going to be too many specialists that are around. Obviously, you have your odd people here and there that started off in other disciplines, but yeah, I think majority of the fight game is going to be well-rounded. Just people. I mean, it already is. Like we're saying, guys like Gilia, like he's got great hands. He will knock you out, but he's a black belt as well. So yeah, I mean, I think all his like pretty much most of his wins before the UFC were like submissions and stuff too.
Yeah.
So certainly, like as of late, he's really let his hands go and start putting people out.
Do you reckon that is like a potential thing we see for you? Obviously all your amateur fights mostly I think you had two TKOs in your amateurs, but as a pro, it's been all submissions. Do you see yourself becoming like a knockout artist, like a Ilia Topuria eventually when maybe you can't get somebody down and you got to use your hands a bit more?
Yeah, I've had that thought before. I mean, I hope so. That would be pretty cool. I want some knockouts.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with the featherweight division, it does seem like they do have some pretty good anti-grapplers. So I feel like once you do get in the UFC, you'll probably showcase your hands a lot more because, just looking at the division, obviously, Volk's got good takedown defense, Max Holloway. Not that all these guys will still be there, obviously, but like it's pretty much all good grapplers except for probably Yair, to be honest. Yair's probably got pretty bad takedown defense. But everyone else, they've all got pretty good takedown defense in that division.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be happy to say that. I mean, someone give me a bit more troubles with the wrestle, and then yeah, I'll be forced to use my hands, and I'm sure I'll do pretty well there.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, you weren't the only Lions Den member to get a win on that card. Obviously, your teammate, Marwan Rakiki, he got a really epic win, brutal KO. And then I think you were in his corner before the fight as well. Like, how did that feel to, be cornering your teammate and then, you're going to be fighting like 2-3 hours later?
Nah, it was good. I mean, it was like got to walk out and like suss out the crowd and just the vibe of the night, be in the cage and whatever. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that. I mean, I just was so confident he was going to win. So I knew like you had to important not to waste like too much of your energy and stuff, like getting excited for your teammates. So I was pretty calm. I wasn't nervous, or maybe if I was a bit 50-50, if I thought he was going to win, and I wouldn't have walked out and been there. But no, I was very confident. So yeah, he went out and did what he does. He puts people out. He's dangerous. So it's a good win for him. He was only 2-0, fighting 7-4, got 11 fight vet in Manu. So yeah, Marwan's in a good spot. Maybe one or two more wins. He's fighting for a belt also.
Yeah, because like I mean, I'm meant to be non-biased, but I there was no way. I don't think anyone's gonna beat him striking. Like I just got to be
Right.
honest. Like his striking is fucking world class. Like he is special with the striking.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, yeah, that's what I was been saying. Like, he's someone to watch out for, definitely. Like, I think me and him will both be in the UFC next year. Like, I think it's pretty. I'll be on the contender series at least. And Marwan with another. Hopefully, just if he can get some fights, like if he can find fights in November, early next year, he'll be 5-0 also. So yeah, I think if he gets that done, he'll be on there as well.
I think just the prospect of if you had 5% of Rakiki striking, you'd just kill everybody. If you had 5% of your grappling, you'd kill everybody. Like it's a dangerous combo. Like Lions Den having like both the best striker and the best grappler in the featherweight division is like pretty like extraordinary for a gym.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. I mean, the more he's only been at our gym for like a year and maybe 2 years, I think. So something like that. Definitely not more than 2 years. Could be a year and a half. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. We're going to spend lots of hours on the mats together. Yeah, in fast forward 5-6 years, when we're in our mid to late 20s in our prime, yeah, we're going to be have more than 5% of each other's striking and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like Lions Den, I feel like your gym is like it's a sleeper gym. I feel like people sleep on the gym, but like you guys are killing it right now. There's obviously you and Rahiki, Chris as well. Benny Patterson, he just got a pretty sick KO as well. Like all you guys coming up, I'm sure there's more I'm not mentioning. Like I feel like you guys are just slowly taking over all the divisions.
Yeah, definitely. Even on that Hex weekend, like you said, me and my one on Hex on the Saturday, and we had 4 boys fight on the Sunday the next day, where we had 3 wins, 1 loss. With one of our guys on debut, but he had a good first round. You just made some mistakes in the second, got caught in a sub. But yeah, our other 3 guys, I think one was a third round TKO, and then the other 2 were first round knockout, and one first round knockouts. So yeah, over that weekend, we had 5 wins, 5 from 6, and 5 finishes. So yeah, we're doing really well. We're a young team as well. Also, that's what I saw my one say in one of his interviews. Like right now, we're the best team in Australia. We think when we're slowly proving that. When we're all 21, 22, 20, even some of our amateurs 19. So yeah, give us 5, 6 years, we're gonna be the best team in the world.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, not even like just hyping it up to hype up, but if people, if you know, you know, like you got to see the performance of all you guys. Like, it's just extraordinary. Because how long has Lions Den even been around for? Do you know?
Oh, it's been around for a while. Like Luke's had that gym, I think, since like 1997 or something. Like it's
Okay,
older
yeah,
than me, but no, he hasn't. He's only like we've only had this generation of fighters for. Well, I've only been there for like 4 years. It's like after lockdown um ended. So yeah, it was like only had my first fight out of there 2021, like almost December 2021. So if you just look at myself as one person from there, like in 3 years, I went from 1-0 as amateur to 6-0 as amateur, 5-0 as a pro. So that's with all our guys. I mean, not everyone is undefeated, but like they're way ahead of their time. Like me myself, I've been training since I was 8, but we got guys fighting and putting on like good performances that have been training for only like a year and a half and 2 years. So yeah, I mean, just the longer they're going to be there on the mats, we're going to have more stars and killers come out of the gym.
yeah, definitely. Did the gym start off as like an affiliate of like Ken Shamrock's Lions Den, or just the same name, or you just don't
No,
know?
just I don't think so. I don't even know that gym.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So Ken Shamrock, he started the first like proper MMA gym, like when he fought, like he was mixing the styles before anyone else was. So that's where it pretty much started with like striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu all at the same gym because he just had that idea. And they were sort of like the first like a ATT like sort of like super team
Yeah,
at the time.
that was called Lion then as well, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. There you
Oh. Yeah, I was
go.
thinking maybe that's why, because it would have been around the same time as well that they roughed off, or maybe they were an affiliate or someone. But no, that's cool then.
Hmm.
Uh, man, I was just about to ask a question. What was I thinking of? Oh my god, I've been stumped. It was about one of your team. Oh, I was gonna say, and with Rahiki beating Manu's, he's the only person to beat Anthony Drillich, who's going to be on Contender Series. So, that's just an extraordinary win for him
I
as
didn't know
well.
that. Is that his only loss? Is
Yeah,
Manu? How do you
yeah.
beat him? Decision?
Decision. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. That's even makes that win even better, I guess. Like, yeah, we knew when Stanov had to pull out. It was an awesome opportunity for my one to sort of like really catapult himself to like one of the top guys in the division. Yeah, like I said, like I think after his next fight, he should be fighting for a belt. Um, yeah, just I don't think that many people are gonna want to fight him, but
Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult task. I feel like, especially like if you're a striker, like you better fucking like move to Dagestan for a year before you fight him because it seems like a bit of a tough task.
yeah. I mean, I think that's a good thing as well. Like with myself, the opportunity I got to fight Justin, and win the belt. Like I'm not sure how easy it would have been, getting fights if I didn't have a belt to, it's sort of a bit more incentive to take a fight with me. Is to fight with for a belt. So I think if my one can get an opportunity like that, for his next fight or the one after, it'll help a lot.
Yeah, I feel like if maybe Barber pulls out or someone like that, him versus Baeta, that'd be a crazy good fight. That'd be a good step up as well.
That's what we'll be keeping an eye on that in case that happens.
Do you have a winner for that fight with Barber and Baeta?
Um, Probably Abdullah. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't only watched. I watched Barber fight Justin once before I fought Justin. So I don't know. I mean, he's tough, but I'm not really too sure how good his like jiu-jitsu stuff is. And Abdullah, to be honest, I don't even watch that much of the local scenes unless I'm fighting him. Even if I do, like I said, I only watched Justin's fight with him once. So yeah, I couldn't. I would say Abdullah now, but yeah, I'm not like that. I haven't studied it that much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it does seem like it's a new era though. Like obviously it was Baeta, Khan Offley, and Justin who were the big three, but now it seems like it's coming up with you, Rahiki, uh, who else really? I guess Seb, yeah, Soleil as well. Like it seems like there's like a new top three now in the country. So it's a pretty cool era, but you know, one of them people you're never gonna probably fight because they're your teammates. So it's,
Yeah.
when you think about it, it's pretty much the big two because it can only really be you versus Seb or Rahiki versus Seb. But would that be your ideal fight? Obviously, he is with Eternal, but if you were to like pick out of any person you fight next, would it be Seb?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like that'd be. I mean, I feel like fully solidifying myself as the best. Like right now, there's another Australian champion, and it's Seb. So there's two of us that are gonna think, we're the best in the country, and yeah, I mean, there's only one way to find out. So I think a win over him would really like cement me as number one. So yeah, I think that would be the one that makes the most sense. But I'm not sure it would happen.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like it'd be a bit tricky with the politics behind it, but a man can dream.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I can't remember who I was speaking to, but I was saying we should do it on Superfly on my coach's show in Sydney. Just
And
do it.
you know,
Do a ground show.
and you know, if you do win your next fight, you'll be 6-0. That does always seem to be like the special. It normally does seem to be you go 6-0 or at least get 6 wins. It does always seem to be the case that you do go on Dana White Contender Series. But you know, if you do win, it will be November. So obviously, I doubt you're going to sit out for a year. So realistically, how many fights would you like to get before getting like a Dana White Contender Series call up?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's gonna be a bit awkward timing. It's either like I'm gonna have to fight real close or sit out for a bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I guess. But I mean, ideally, I could skip the contender series and just go fight in February in Sydney.
Yeah,
So
I was going to bring that up. I was going to say that would be a perfect opportunity. I mean, they did it for Stuart Nickel. They gave him a shot straight to the UFC, so there is that precedent that you could be the next person. I mean, you've got
yeah,
the momentum for it.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope that happens. I think yeah, that would be ideal, especially with the timing of it. Like we're saying, the contender series is a bit far away. Like if I fight in November, win, and then I'm gonna have to fight again. Like obviously beginning like first within the first 6 months of next year. I just don't know who that would be. So yeah, ideally I think I could get on that Sydney card. That would solve all my problems.
Yeah, that would make everything easier. 6-0, I feel like that's a good record. That's a good enough amount of experience. Obviously, you got your amateurs as well, but I mean, like if you do win your next fight, like who the fuck even is there? Like when you think about it, you have beat the top three pretty much best guys at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean we'll have to see. Maybe that's why even Hex was saying we could look at someone internationally. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, you never know. So I mean, yeah, crazy things can happen. Like even at the start of this year, I wouldn't have guessed that I'd be in this position where I'm at now. So you never know what happens.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a good case. Like I didn't expect your year to go the way it did. Like obviously you're in the tournament, but I didn't think like a month after that tournament fight got announced that you would, you know, you'd be beating Justin, like the number one prospect in like the country at the time. Like I mean I did pick you to win, but like, you know, it was a tough fight obviously to get at that point in your career. So, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
early as well.
yeah. So yeah, I didn't expect, especially because it was funny. Me and Justin we fought on the same on the Eternal card when he fought Rod Costa and I fought Aaron McConnell. I was the opening. I was the started first fight on the main card, and he was the main event. It was like exactly like 1 year before we fought on Hex. So like you wouldn't have picked like us two being on that Eternal card. I think it was June 6th or something, 2023, to then fight June 7th or June 8th, 2024 on Hex. It was just everything flipped on its head.
Yeah, I feel like you've probably had like the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the most just like quick step up ever to like just go to like where you've gone. Like you had the most you got fast tracked quite a bit like into the
Yeah.
top. I feel like, and you've exceeded all expectations for like how the majority probably thought. Like I feel like a lot of people probably thought it was like, you're being fed to Justin in a way, but obviously, you showed you were competitive and you did get the W. So
Yeah. I mean, that's right. That's why we took it. I mean, it was just like I was handed this opportunity on a silver platter. Obviously, I had to go out there and perform, but like if I did, it was like there's the number one guy and there's a belt. So you know, if you can do it, here it is. Whereas a lot of people wouldn't get that shot. Like even we're saying with Marwan, like he's 3-0 now. It's like him getting a shot like that just randomly, on 3 weeks. So it doesn't happen often.
yeah, definitely. And like, I think Justin's still someone who could make the UFC as well. Like, he is still a very talented guy. I don't think just because you beat him that's like it for him as well. Like, you could potentially rematch him in the UFC or someone down the line. Like, you never know with those sorts of things. But your wins are aging like perfectly as well. Like, obviously McConnell beat Tom Nolan back in the day. Jarrett's only lost to UFC talent, and Justin's, he's beat pretty much everyone else. So it's like, yeah, it's a good little set of wins you've had so far, to show you're UFC ready. I feel like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think even yeah, and then it's good when you beat guys as well, like snap Justin's win streak, and then he goes and fights again and he beats Rod Costa. So I want the guys I'm beating, I want them to go keep winning. It makes me look better.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it does factor in as well for the UFC. Like, because you'll see there's like this, I think he's Bulgarian. There's this one Bulgarian guy, and I shit you not, he's 18-0. But you go look through his record, he's never beaten anyone with a win, like in his like a winning record. Like it's all like 0-24. It's all like 1-17 and all this shit. And like he's nowhere near Dana White Contender Series or anything like that. But I feel like you taking the toughest challenges, taking the hardest fights. I feel like that is what gets you like the UFC shot.
Yeah, and also like even that guy, like if you made the UFC, I mean, who you gonna beat in the UFC? That's what sort of me and my coach's mindset is like, let's take the toughest fights because we believe I'm ready for the UFC. So only way to prove it is beat the best guys. There's no point if I can't beat this guy who's never fought outside Australia. How am I gonna beat anyone in the UFC?
Exactly. I love that mindset as well. Like I feel like I've mentioned, I think I've probably mentioned it every single time, but your mentality for the game, I do love it. Like especially as a young fighter, like a lot of guys will just sort of want to ease their way into the top. Like yeah, give me like 3-0 when I'm 1-0 or something like that. But you're just going like straight to like the toughest fights you can find, the most experienced guys. Like yeah, no, I just love that mentality. It's no easy fights for you.
Yeah, I think that's because of my coach as well. I mean, he like that's his mentality too. So even with Marwan and Michael Manu, like took a guy with 11 fights against 2 fights. Not only that, it was only like 3 weeks notice or something. So yeah, I mean that's with our whole gym. We always fed the tough guys.
And like, has the pressure of like, a lot of people are calling you the best featherweight prospect since Volkanovski. Does that give you a little bit of pressure, or do you just take that in stride? You're like, yeah, that's just a great thing to hear. Like, how do you take compliments like that?
Yeah, I mean the second one. I mean when I saw that, I was like, that's fucking hectic. I was like, it was a good post. I see that FTS. Yeah, I mean it's true. I think there's a few other good featherweights since like Jack Jenkins, Josh Kulabel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean whether I am or not, time will tell. But even to be people to say that is yeah, made me happy.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, like I was thinking, like there's been so many featherweight guys in the UFC from Australia as well. Like it's a hell of a compliment. But I don't necessarily disagree with it. Like your work on the amateur scene and the regional scene has been like phenomenal. So like Yeah, it's
Mm.
just I don't know. Watching you like just keep beating all these tough, like durable guys and everything like that. It is just like, where the fuck is this level? Where is somebody gonna make it like a bit more competitive? You know?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. I think up
I,
until
I,
now, then it's a valid statement. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep doing what I'm doing to prove it right.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been awesome to watch your whole run. Like I've literally watched your whole pro career, like coming up. I remember my mate was like telling me about like Aaron McConnell and all this stuff, and then you just sort of just ran through Aaron McConnell. I was like, holy shit, this guy must be pretty fucking good.
Yeah, bro, that fight was like one of my scariest fights. Like there was so many moments where I just thought I was gonna get knocked out. I was like, bro, this fight. I just thought because I know he's good. I want him to fight again and just start knocking people out because, bro, he's good. I think if you just look at my record and say I was 1-0 and I versed a 1-0 guy, but he could be like pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure he hasn't fought since I fought him, but yeah, I hope he does because he's sharp. Like you said, he knocked out or TK'd Tom Nolan with some body shots. Like yeah, not anybody just does that.
Yeah, like that. He's got some sharp hands, and like when you knocked him down, I was like, holy shit! It's like because I didn't know too much about you at the time. I don't think when you fought him, but I was like,
Yeah,
damn, this guy's a good striker. And then next minute, you're fucking choking him unconscious. Like, holy shit, this
yeah.
guy's well rounded.
It was funny. It was like a bit of a joke. We were saying with the boys in the gym, like as a pro, I haven't dropped anyone except the one guy with the best striking, like Golden Gloves boxer and stuff like that. Only person I dropped was him. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're just. I guess it's like sort of like the honey badger effect. I feel like because you were nervous and everything like that, you were just so sharp. Like there was no wasted moment. Like when you landed on him, it was like you probably put everything into that punch.
Yeah, I was definitely relieved when I landed that because you just set the pace, set the momentum of the fight. Like he would have had to do really well and come back a lot of adversity to get his momentum going again. So yeah, it was relieving.
Are you annoyed that like you train all like super hard and everything, you still haven't got to go to like decision or gone a full 15 minutes yet? Like, is that a bit frustrating with like how hard you train?
Nah, it's good. I mean, I'll train as hard as I can. Just the quicker the better. I'll just yeah want to be like dominating and just that's it. Like I don't want. I don't like getting punched in the face. So even though I fight, like I want to minimize that as much as I can. So yeah, the more quick wins, more dominating wins, it's good. I feel like also it's a bit hard to like make a read on how I fight and stuff as well because yeah, the fights are ended pretty quick. I mean, like for example, the fight with Justin, he didn't have that much footage to watch of me, even though I had a few fights. So, um, yeah, I think it's hard to prepare for me when my fight time is like 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, there's so many like in a way unanswered questions. Like, people wonder like how good is his cardio, like all this sort of stuff. Like, is he durable? Like, there's so many questions. But I mean, obviously, you did get Justin out in the third round, so I guess that showed like you weren't gassed or anything like that. Your gas tanks seemed pretty good, but like you go pretty high paced as well. So I feel like all these questions are slowly getting answered, and people are like still not like really having too much success against you at the same time. So it's like it must be a difficult puzzle to prepare for. I feel like.
Yeah, and especially the one with Justin, like, oh, and Jared too. They both had fought 5 rounds before. I think Justin. I don't know. They haven't fought, but Jared hadn't fought 5 rounds, but they prepared to fight 5 rounds before, and well, I know Justin definitely had. I think 3 times he had 3 title fights. So yeah, and then I had to do my first one on 3 weeks' notice. So to submit him like with 3 seconds to go, like it was all full 15 minutes pretty much, and then got the sub. So yeah, I showed like my cardio was. Yeah, I feel I answered that question in that fight.
And you always look so composed as well. I feel like that's another good part of your game. Like even the commentators were saying that against Jarrett. Like you did just look composed in there. You didn't look too nervous. You're just no wasted movement or anything like that. Like uh, would you factor that in just because you fought so much before, like with the amateurs and everything like that? And obviously you've been training since you're in diapers at this point. Like you've been training since you came out the womb, probably.
Yeah. That's something I really made like a conscious effort to do when I was an amateur. I think my first 2 fights, it was like a big blur. Like I didn't. I remember after the fights, I was like, man, I don't even remember what happened. Like, so after since then, I had the next few fights. I was really focused on like being present and thinking and sort of feeling how I feel in sparring because I do really well there. So I want to fight how I spar. If I fight how I spar, like I'll knock people at every fight. So I wanted to be present, and then I think it's from my third amateur fight onwards, like I really emphasize on that, and now I don't have to really focus on that to do it. It just comes naturally. So I think that's the perks of having pretty like an extensive amateur career is you get to figure all that out before you turn pro, and that's your final record, and you don't get no restarts after that. So yeah, I mean, even though like I never lost as an amateur, I learned a lot doing those fights, and that's one of those things I learned.
Yeah, I don't know if I asked this before, but I know you mentioned before you did start training when you were 14. Did you ever have any junior bouts?
Did I have any what? Sorry.
Junior bouts?
No, I didn't. I just did some jiu-jitsu comps, and then I mean I was under 18. I was 15 when I had my first fight, but it wasn't like I don't think it was classified as a junior bout. I mean, I think I was 15 and the guy I fought was 15 or 16, so we're both young, but I don't think so. I didn't know like I did one open match, 2-minute rounds or 3 2-minute rounds, something like that. I don't even remember. I think I lost. But no, I didn't really do anything other than before I had my first fight.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out like you said open mat. Was it just a jiu-jitsu match? Did you say?
No, I had one like kickboxing sort of thing. I forgot about that actually until now. You just mentioned it. I think I lost by this decision or something. So there's one loss there.
And you just vowed never to lose again after
Yeah.
that.
I lost in a kickboxing fight too. I've had two amateur kickboxing fights. I lost my first one by split decision. And then the next one I won first round TKO. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's probably good. Like, there probably is pressure, obviously, to stay undefeated. But I feel like it's not the end of the world if you do lose, like kind of thing. Not that you're preparing to lose or anything like that. But you hear a lot of fighters, they do mention like having that undefeated record. It's just like it's like a big burden on their shoulders. Do you feel that, or it's just it's just another thing to you?
No, not at all. I mean, like I obviously want to stay undefeated and win the fight, but like I don't just think I want to win because I don't want to lose my O. Like I think if I lost, like I want to win badly as well. So I mean, it doesn't. I don't feel like that adds any pressure. I hate losing regardless if I've lost before. So but the pressure would be the same. I think if I wasn't undefeated.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've seen maybe it was your dad or uncle or cousin or something. I've seen someone with the last name Mangos comment on one of your posts and it was like road to 26-0 or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's probably my dad. He loves to comment, and I don't know. he wants me to have stay undefeated, obviously, but have a good like record-breaking career like Khabib's or something like that. And you can count John Jones as well. There's only like 2 guys that have lasted their whole careers undefeated. So he wants me to do the same.
Yeah, I mean that's always a good aim to. It's hard to do, but you're on a good track so far, 5-0. 11-0, I think it is now, all up with your amateur fights. Like that is a crazy amount of fights to have, like undefeated, like against good guys as well. Like you're definitely on the path. It's just
it's
just
just a
keep
matter
doing
of
what you're
time.
doing.
Yeah, and if you look as well, like that was only in 3 years of all those 11 fights. So, I mean, if we go from now 3 years from now, another 11 fights, like 16-0, that's like, well, look at Ilya, he's 15-0 and he's a champion. So it's a good timeline to look at it, I think. Like, unless obviously some things can put a pause on fighting, like injuries and stuff. So, God willing that it goes smoothly, but 3 to 4 years could be looking at that. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, good luck finding an opponent. Whoever whoever signs on the dotted line, it should be a good fight. Whoever it is, if it's international, do you know where they're going to be looking internationally? Like, are they looking Brazilians, Japanese guys, or just whoever will accept the fight?
I have no idea. I have no idea. We'll see. I mean, I just want someone that's decent. Someone with good record. Of last 2 guys were good guys with good records. I don't want to take a backward step. So someone with more fights than me, Obviously a positive record, with not many losses. That's what I'm looking for.
I'd love to see you versus like a Brazilian guy, like a guy with like some good jiu-jitsu. I feel like that'd be a good test, test your jiu-jitsu out against the Brazilians or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love to see it too. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure we'll cross paths with one eventually.
Yeah, if not now, UFC absolutely you will. Like, I mean, looking at it, like obviously there's Gene Silva coming up, Diego Lopez. Like, there's so many Brazilians at featherweight. I feel like you definitely cross paths with one of them in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, they always do well. There's lots of Brazilians in the UFC. I mean, in top 15 and stuff. So yeah, there's two right there in the featherweight. So yeah, like you said, only a matter of time.
And I think they do Tapology still have Diego Pereira as like number one featherweight in the country?
Nah, now it's Justin Stills 1, and then 2 is Rod Costa, and then I'm 3rd.
I never understand it, man. It doesn't
Yeah, I
make
don't
any
get it.
sense. Like Justin's he beat
Yeah,
Rod twice as well, and you've beat Justin. Like it should clearly be you, then Justin, and then Seb. Like I don't know, it
yeah,
makes no sense.
I don't know. I think it's just because he's had more fights. I'm guessing. But the other thing is I mean, I know Rod's had a couple fights at featherweight, but he's a bantamweight. I don't know. And he's also 8-8. It's not the prettiest record.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they do that. Like, no disrespect to Rod, but obviously it doesn't look the best if like an 8-8 guy is like the number 3 guy. Like he's lost to 8 guys from Australia or fighting out of Australia as well. Like, or 7. Like I don't know. It just seems just random. But
Yeah,
Tapology is weird. I remember back like a year or two ago, they had Max Holloway above Volk on the featherweight rankings. Just
really?
after he lost to Islam, yeah, they put Max over him when he lost to Islam. It made no sense.
Yeah, right. I mean, I didn't even know they did UFC rankings. I haven't looked at them.
Yeah, they do
But yeah,
it's like pound for pound featherweight or something like that. It's just like for all the featherweights in the world, and they had him. Oh, it was it wasn't normal. It wasn't like the normal rankings. It was maybe it was just somebody's objective list or something like that. But yeah, it was horrible. Everyone was like taking the piss out of him for it because it was pretty stupid.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Same with my situation. Doesn't make sense. I mean, like you said, no disrespect to Rod or anything like that. He's a good guy, but I just think it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. But you just keep beating all these guys, and I mean, I would say that you undoubtedly be number 1, but fucking who knows with the rankings, man. But nah, definitely, I feel like you just keep beating everyone. You'll be undeniable for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, end of the day, like if I beat even the next guy and I'm Justin's 1 and I'm 2, and then I get signed to the UFC next, Justin can have that number 1 spot. I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it's just all to get to the UFC.
Exactly.
Just before we go, like obviously there's the PFL Australia coming up now. I think they're starting up next year or something like that. If you don't get any call up or anything like that, would you take an opportunity with the PFL, or you're just aiming straight for the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd rather UFC. I'm not too sure like what that involves. That PFL Australia, like if it's they're just doing one show here, or if it's they do that tournament thing for I don't know the million or 100,000, whatever they do. I mean, maybe it's something I'd look at. Like we saw that what's that Irish guy's name? He's managed by Tim
Paul
Simpson.
Hughes.
Yeah,
Paul
he did
Hughes.
that. So he's probably going and looking there, win that. It's probably better. I think it's better like money to start off with compared to the UFC.
Yeah.
Get money, get some more hype, and then he probably I'm assuming he's gonna go over to the UFC after that. Maybe that's one way to look at it. I mean, I've got plenty of time to do that, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if it happens, I'll sit down and we'll assess. But ideally, I want UFC, of course.
Yeah. I feel like the one shit thing with PFL as well is like you can't elbow, so it's like it doesn't really feel like real MMA. Like it feels
Oh,
like
really?
an
I
amateur.
didn't even know that. You can't elbow?
Yeah, you can't elbow because they got like a tournament thing, and they reckon if you elbow, you'll cause cuts, and that they'll be out of the tournament and all that stuff. But it's like you can still knee, and punch people. Like, well, you can kick people, you can punch people. Like, you're gonna get cut regardless in the fight. Like, it's just a stupid rule to me.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know that. I haven't watched any PFL, to be honest, or Bellator. I wouldn't even know where to watch it. So, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm ever watching it, it's definitely like an illegal stream. I'm not. I would never pay for PFL in my life. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'll pay for Hex. I'll pay for all these like Australian shows, but I don't think I'd ever pay for PFL.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, if that does become your future employer though, yeah, I'll buy a card for you though.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I doubt you'd get any of the money anyways. I probably still would just use the stream.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, save your money.
Yeah, no, definitely. But no, it was a pleasure to talk to you. You know, this is the first time talking now, and it is cool. Every time we're talking, you know, you're creeping up closer and closer. Hopefully, next time we talk, it's Dana White Contender Series, UFC, someone like that. I feel like that'd be awesome. But you're definitely on the doorstep, and yeah, big things ahead. And also, happy birthday for like a month. I think it was a month ago. Your birthday
It
was.
was actually a month ago exactly from
Yeah.
today.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday. Like 21 now. Yeah.
Yeah, 21. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. 6-0 almost already. 21-0. Oh, not 21-0. You're 21. You're 6-0. Thinking a bit ahead there.
Yeah, it's one day.
Yeah, no, awesome, awesome stuff, man. Actually, wait, yeah. Before we go, did you watch that Austin Bashir? I think his name was on Dana White Contender Series.
No, what was it? The one that just passed on Wednesday? Yesterday?
It might have been 2 weeks ago. He's like 20. He's like 14-0. He's like 22 or something like that. He's a featherweight. He's good grappler, really heavy grappling. I feel like that'd be a really good fight. I could see that in the future. You versus him, like UFC title shot, something like that. I was
Yeah.
looking at it. Really heavy grappling, really like forward pressure, good cardio. I
Yeah,
could
no,
see
I know.
that.
Give it a watch. It sounds good. I did watch
Yeah,
yesterday's Aaron Tower, the guy he fought. That kid was
yeah.
pretty good. He's 22 as well. Like he was good. Like you can tell he's really talented. So yeah, I think he'll do pretty well. But he's a bantamweight. But yeah, he was another young guy that's just talented.
Yeah, he's the second guy to father and son duo as well. That guy's dad was a UFC fighter as well.
Oh wow, there you go.
Yeah, his dad was like on Tough in like 2008 or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool to see.
Mm,
Or father and son duos.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much for talking to me, finding the time. And yeah, just remember, tell Mr. Mangos, I love the garden. Every single time we talk, I always gotta give him his props, man. He's really maintaining that stuff really well.
I'll let him know.
It's looking even greener now, actually, than it normally
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
It's spring. It's thriving.
Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this. Go follow George on Instagram. Actually, do you want to shout out any sponsors or anything as well before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few, so I won't name them all. But yeah, thank you all my sponsors for helping me. Yeah, be able to do this full time. So check them out on my Instagram when I post them, and that's it.
Yeah, awesome. And we hope to see you fighting again in November against whoever signs on the dotted line, and hopefully get to see you go 6-0, and yeah, off to the races.
Yeah, done. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Easy. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.